we're going to see the unseeded Tim Doyle, and if that name sounds familiar, yeah, he's the brother. And what kind of a man can we expect from Tim Doyle? What kind of play?
Well, Tim's a super player. He's a really strong player, strong serve. Unseeded is kind of different because there's so many good players down here that you may be unseeded, but still very, very established, and should present himself very well in the finals and probably will do very well.
It's going to be tough, though, because he's going against Andy Roberts. Not only did Roberts win this thing last year, but he is experienced. He knows what the finals are all about.
Well, he's been here in the past. He's won last year. He looked very strong last year. I've seen him play a little bit this week. He's just as strong, so he's going to be tough to contend with.
At the Houston downtown YMCA in Houston, Texas, we're almost set for the men's singles of the U.S. Open Racquetball Championships, Open Division, actually, the U.S. National Racquetball Singles Championships. Going against the defending champion will be Tim Doyle, unseeded. Tim out of Williamsville, New York, the brother of Cindy Doyle that we saw in the women's competition. Columbus State, ranked 24th by the AARA, unseeded in this tournament. And Tim Doyle, 20 years old, goes against number 1 seed Andy Roberts, the defending champion from Memphis. Graduate of Memphis State this spring, gold medal in the Pan Am Games. Going to be a tough person to beat. He's going to be on the receiving end. There you see him. He won this championship last year after being runner-up for a couple of years. He finally got the big one.
Okay, let's play ball, fellas.
And we're just about set to resume action. Doyle serving. 9 serving 3.
That's a good shot.
Well,
it's going to be an appeal because the way the play looked.
Well, this time the up-top man is overruled.
A lot of times that the ball jumps up a little bit, and when the ball jumps up, that gives a very good clue that the ball has hit the floor just before the front wall. And from this perspective, it looked like it, so it was very natural for Andy to appeal it. He went to both linesmen. They both thought it skipped, so therefore it's side out. Andy serving 3, serving 9. That's about as perfect a ball as can be humanly hit, I think. That thing was rolling out of the front corner. He sets up on this. It's good time to set up. Has a great forehand. Pinches right wall, front wall. That ball was dead flat in front of Andy.
Serving 3.
9-3.
Line judges. I called the serve good, but he's going to appeal. I called it good.
And they confirm all 3. There's our first unanimous agreement on the serve.
Shows that ball was down. Actually, what he appealed was the shot before that, which was the serve. That's a good cross-court angle. Ball's hit very low. Takes its first bounce by the solid second line, 20 feet, and died in the backcourt.
10 serving 3 for Doyle.
Hold it, skip ball.
Side out. One thing, of course, we've seen more questions of calls in this match than we did with the women for a very simple reason. The velocity the ball is being hit makes it a real concentration test for the referee.
There's a nice shot.
4 serving 10.
Here's a shot, good technique off the back wall, pinches it tight again.
Scores 4.
Leaves the ball in front of Tim. A nice, easy lob motion, high lob Z to the right. That's a good shot down the wall, but he started that rally off and he started to push that backhand down the left wall and made Tim move from side to side.
5 serving 10. First game.
See if he sticks with that high lob Z to the right corner. Trying to force Tim up to the ceiling. Miss.
6-10.
He's going for that shot, shooting that high lob Z, and he's up just barely getting it, pushing it back into the middle. Now he has another shot that he pushes down the right. Good placement.
6,
Good placement.
10.
Good replay,
Skip. You held the shot? Okay, play hinder on it. Play hinder on it. He held his hand up. Play hinder on it. He didn't watch, he didn't take a shot carefully because you were right there.
Well, if you see that right there, Tim didn't really think that he had a shot, so he held up, and Andy thought he had a good shot. So, difference of opinion, he's going to play it again as a hinder.
Serving 10.
7-10 as Roberts continues his comeback.
There's a shot, it's going to come off the back wall. Andy sets up with his forehand, takes it back down the wall.
Score 7. Serving
Ball had
10.
too much pace on Tim, couldn't get back and get it. Staying with that high lob Z, generating either a ceiling ball return. Good shot. Really has changed the complexion here a little bit. He's scored 4 points with that serve. A couple times Tim has shot, a couple times he's gone to the ceiling with a weak ceiling ball for a setup for Andy.
He scored the last 5 points. He was down 3-10.
See what he does with this one. Back up to the ceiling, another offensive shot. Beautiful.
Yeah. That is 6 points in a row.
Probably a timeout.
Timeout's been called by Tim Doyle.
And Doyle will call a timeout.
See that ceiling ball came in a little bit short. Andy's got good technique on that backhand. Really tight pinch. Well placed, well executed. Roberts is right back in at 9, serving 10.
Crowd on the hard bleachers using this as an opportunity to stand up for a while. 9 serving 10. Roberts serving. Let's skip to the back wall, and we're even at 10-10. 7 consecutive points now have been scored.
We're back in at 0-0. We're going to play a short game to 5 here.
Yep.
See who wins this first game of the championship. He's going to have to come up and short hop something pretty soon. He's going to sit back and let Andy dictate the action. Shot off the back. Oh, skipped it in.
Side
Just a
out.
little too fine in the corner. Here's a back wall shot. He was going for it, but in this caliber of play, there's such a fine line between hitting a kill, hitting a little too low, having it skip in, and then hitting a fraction too high and having it left up back to the defender in the center court.
Skip that one, and it's 11-10.
Scores 11, serving 10.
That will definitely be appealed because Tim thought that ball got over the short line.
Line judges, I call the serve short.
It'll be interesting to see what the linesmen say. They both appeal.
All agree.
They all thought it was short.
One appeal used.
Trouble is there, the server sees it from one
We
angle.
each have 2 appeals.
The server
left.
sees it from this angle, and he thinks the ball got over the line. The
Play ball,
linesman
second
and the ref
serve.
see it at a different angle, and it appears to be short to them.
You may have heard in the background Otto Dietrich mentioning appeals left. Maybe you can quickly explain that rule regarding appeals.
Oh, Andy hit it again. He had a couple shots on that backhand.
All right, it's 13-10. If they are not
13.
overruled, in other words, if the referee is not overruled, then the players actually lose one of their 3 mandatory appeals. There's the replay.
Andy wants that ball right there. It was on his racket. All he had to do is punch it back in that front left corner. It's 13-0. 13-10 right now. He went for it. He stepped over, used a good crossover step, used his shoulders, and just aimed that thing a little too low into the front wall.
Well, it's not yet. Let's see.
I called it good. Serve goes over again as a hinder.
All right. Try it again.
The first serve.
That ball is traveling so fast that I'm not sure anybody has a good angle at that.
Doyle serving.
That's why you're going to see so many differences. Everybody's seeing it at a slightly different angle.
13-10. Short.
Second serve.
Get to it. Side out.
That cross-court pass had so much pace on it, it virtually left Tim standing right in his tracks. It came off the back wall. If you notice his swing, watch his tremendous swing. And the ball came off the back wall, but it went so fast that Tim could not get back around it and take it. There it is again. Tim's going for it, and he would have swung and tried to retrieve it, but there's too much pace on the ball.
10 serving 13, first game.
Interesting to see if Andy sticks with the high lob Z, which has got him back into the game.
Serving 13.
Let's see if he can get a ceiling ball return or maybe a possible left-up shot. Ball came off the glass funny. But that was the first time, if you're watching how Tim was receiving that high lob Z, that's the first time that he actually stepped up and started to short hop it, overhead drive it to create some action. He may not let Andy just sit back, and that time is good serve. Going to the ceiling, shot off the back wall.
Side out.
Flat rollout. Good swing by Roberts. That thing's coming off the back wall, and Tim kind of adapts his swing and gets good velocity and flat rolls it out. He'd sure like to close this with a couple points and get that first game under his belt.
Side out still. Same score. 10 serving 13.
Good pressure shot by Roberts. The ball came off the back wall. He stayed right with it.
Scores 10.
Drove the ball down that left wall for a side out. 10-13. Oh. Well, the aggressive overhead drive worked to his favor there because it hit a left wall crack.
13 serving 10.
13 serving 10. First game.
Scores 13.
Which is the thing that you don't want to do, but also you have to stay very low in that low zone area to try to put the ball away. So it's a fine line between hitting a winner and hitting a skip shot. A great serve. Ball slid down the right wall. Andy kind of thought it was coming off the back and took two bounces back in there, and he's at game point. Game number 1.
14, serving 10.
Ball jumped up. He skipped it in.
And that's it. So the first game goes to Tim Doyle by a score of 15-10. The 20-year-old from the Buffalo area, a winner over the number 1 seeded Andy Roberts. And we'll be back with game number 2 from the Houston Downtown YMCA in just a moment.
Never got.
Well, there's the scoring in the first game. Steve, you've been handed some interesting statistics, I think, showing that there's room for Andy to certainly show a lot of improvement in the second match.
Well, it shows that Tim got 6 aces and Andy got 1. And also it shows that on skips, Andy skipped in 7 balls that resulted in Tim getting points. whereas Tim had only skipped in 2. So actually, when you add this thing up, you got 13 points with his aces and Andy's skips. 13 of his points were on aces or Andy skips, and 3 were on Roberts. Gained 3 points from his aces or Doyle's skips. So there's a discrepancy in there of 10 points.
Over Andy Roberts. Roberts, a defending champion. He's been in this final, what is it, 4 years in a row, I guess?
He's a regular in the finals.
Yeah, 2 years a runner-up, last year champion. And now he's trying to defend that championship.
Won the first game and leads the match 1-0.
So he's familiar with this court. Andy Roberts will serve.
Play ball. Score is 0. Serving 0.
Nice shot.
Yeah, it's a point. Roberts, 1-0.
Tim will probably stick with his strategy. Here's Andy, driving the ball up and down that left wall. Down line shots are great shots because they spread your opponent to the side and keep them on the move. Good rally there, but it was halted just because Tim couldn't quite get enough view of Andy's shot coming off the front wall.
1, serving 0. Set out.
In addition to the championship, the semifinalists in both the men and women's open divisions all qualified for berths on the U.S. national team. In some cases, that was just a renewal of a position they already had, but not for Tim. Tim Doyle and his sister Cindy both making it for the first time.
It's a good shot right there. Well, it does come off the back wall, though. Tim sets up, has nice technique right there. Andy just flat rolls that ball. Good center court re-kill with his backhand. Shows it again.
Was huffing and puffing on the court, trying to get him psyched up. Couldn't handle it. Coming back at his leg, so it's side out.
Anytime that ball comes, let's see what Tim's got a good shot with a good forehand. Anytime the ball goes back into that corner, you're not sure how it's going to react out of that corner, and that time he happened to just
0, serving 1.
not so much misjudge it, but just hit a spot that was kind of unpredictable and jumped out on.
Next major racquetball activity for the U.S. national team will be to participate in the Olympic Festival in Oklahoma City in July of '89.
Well wide,
1-1.
Good backhand. See how he catches that side wall? If you notice, it turns into a splat shot, which dies in the front.
Skipped it off the back wall. It is, make it 3-1. Check that score. It was 2-1. Now it's 3-1. Second serve.
Tim is so strong that he has the ability to just stand and pound for about as long as this game is going to happen. He'll come up and aggressively overhead. There. What they'd like to do with that shot is that they'd like to push their opponent a little further back into that back left corner. That one happened to catch and leave really Tim in the center of the court, and he's going to have a nice center court shot right there that he re-kills in the front.
Scores 4, 1.
Now, there'll be an appeal because Tim thought that ball bounced twice in the back left corner, and Andy thinks that he got it, and it did kind of roll along the front wall. Yeah. Good low drive serve lands right in that area. It comes off. Andy's shot was upheld, and it is a side out. 1 serving 4.
Side out. 4-1, and again it was Doyle winning the first game 15-10.
Craig, that ball's being hit so hard.
Line judges.
I'm going to go with the line judges again. A foot fault was the question.
Call stands. Point.
Well, he's appealing a foot fault. It looked like he was right on the line, and you can serve with having your feet on the lines, but you can't go over the lines. And you'll see Tim backed right up against the short line here.
Broken. Okay, there's a new ball.
They just knocked the air out of the old one.
Outside the ball, it's okay.
And that can happen easily. These are very good balls, but as hard as they're hitting them, they finally
He
get
swings
away.
around. Oh, look like it broke right on that shot right there.
Trying to get the ball broken in just a little bit here. Whapping
I hit it a
against
few
the wall.
times just to make sure they feel good with the pace of the ball, so it's not too slow, not too fast. And he's going to have to reach inside right now because he's not really on his range. He's a little bit off his serves. He's generating some good action on. There's a replay right there. Good re-kill in that part. He put everything into it.
Serving 5.
Brought it right back down the left wall.
Gonna have to score.
Probably change his serve a little bit, going to something low and hard.
He's gonna have to start scoring some points. He has to win this game. And he gets the first point. It is 2-5. Remember, he had a 7 straight point rally about this point. Actually, he was down 10-3, and he tied it up at 10, but then lost 15-10.
Here's a nice shot. How he actually got the lead in the first game was kind of coming with that high lob Z serve where he changed the momentum. And Tim changed. It's a good shot off the back wall. Pinches it tight. Left wall, front wall, right there. Ball bounces twice in front of Tim. Now he's going to go back and change to his hard serves, trying to generate some weak returns.
3-5.
It's great, and he has. Tim put a hand up because he couldn't see the ball, but the decision was going to be that the ball was down the line before he could move over to get it. Even if he didn't see the ball as well as he would have liked to, that ball was well placed down the right wall and not reachable.
4-5.
But it did look pretty reachable there. He had his racket on it, but it was a nice shot up and down the right wall.
And we're even. 5-5.
Probably one of the best kill shots that a person could ever hit.
And
Right
Doyle
there.
wants a timeout because of it. Well, now remember last game, they came back and tied it up. Roberts did, and then lost serve.
What is he? He hits back on this one. He sets up deep, goes for it, flat rolls it out.
And it's 5-5. There's
Show it
another
again.
shot of it.
Tim's watching. He's deep court, back 37, 38 feet off the front wall, and still flattens that ball right into the front wall. Good change of strategy by Andy, though, because he went to a low drive serve, hard serves, and he's popped back in and came back from 5-1, back up to 5-5. He's in the service box all ready to go.
Here's another reason why taking up racquetball wouldn't hurt.
It's a good workout because there's so little time between points. The ball's so close to you, small confined room. Get a lot of good action within the 60 minutes. You know, as we were watching, Tim was getting a lot of points on ace serves.
Serving 5.
But obviously that can also be reversed by Andy serving hard serves to Tim, and he's finding it's hard. See, all the returns that Tim has hit in the last 5 rallies have been well hit, but it's slightly misdirected, which have turned into an offensive shot. Good power on that shot. He's getting it. He gets it, but he sets up Andy off the back wall. He has to go up in the air to make sure he's not an avoidable hinder. Here's another replay of that, and the ball gets by him down the left wall. Andy's regained the lead 6-5.
That is the first time I think he's led since perhaps very, very early in the first game. As he, of course, fell behind as much as 10-3, came back and tied it, then lost 15-10. And this is the first time since perhaps on the first point of this one. I'm not even sure if he had one there, but in any event, now he's on top. And he has to win it, remember, because he lost that first game. That hit the window, didn't it?
Side out.
No.
Skip that thing in.
Side out, they counted.
It looks like both of them right now are, that ball skipped in. And he went for it, just hit it a little bit too low. Looks like they're both going to buckle up here and just go straight at each other with full power.
Side out.
Side out.
The hardest thing for both these players to do is to get into the rally. I mean, the serve is coming so hard. Once they're in the rally, they feel very comfortable. The hardest thing is getting over to these low drive serves that are hit at such a tremendous pace.
He doesn't get a hinder on that. Of course, his momentum.
He was moving to the right.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to get, he couldn't have gotten back. He couldn't have
See
changed
back
his
in there,
momentum.
he went way over to the right, thinking it might go down the right wall. Ball was actually hit pretty much down the middle.
Score is
It's a tough call.
Serving 5.
7-5. There's an
And
ace.
he's serving very well. His accuracy of getting it to land in that area right behind the short line, a lot of times in front of the dotted line, and then it skids into the corner, kind of freaked out back in that corner and left him with an unreturnable shot. That's a tough shot too. Really has changed the momentum around here. He's run how many points? 8 points in a row?
Yeah, he's now up line 5, speaking of Roberts.
Well, a lot of pace on that ball. Tim's trying to get back at it, but that thing was hit so hard.
9. Serving 5.
Tim's going to appeal the serve. He thought it was short.
Line, as I said, the serve was good. There's been an appeal. I called it good. Ball stands.
One
2 out of
linesman
3.
thought it was. One linesman thought it was good. One linesman thought it was short.
Then we still have 2 appeals remaining.
So the play goes as a point. Randy sets up, tight pinch in that corner. It's a little bit overspin on that ball to keep that ball down. Great shot.
10-5, but side out. Man, he's going to take a timeout. Doyle takes a timeout. Cindy Doyle joins the women's team. She's new. Another protest on the call.
Would be an appeal there because Andy thought the ball caught the back wall, so it would be a long. And here's a replay of it, which is going to be kind of hard to see.
Been an appeal.
And
Played over again.
it's going to be a play over. One of the linesmen did not see it. Another disagreed with the referee, so it'll be a play over.
No appeal used.
The umpire will give a flat palm down if he didn't see it, or the official will.
10.
Thumb up or thumb down, regardless of, depending on whether or not he agreed with the original call.
Toughest thing is the return of these low drive serves. The pace is so great that it cuts down your reaction time to just about nothing.
6 serving 10. Side out.
Good serve, just jumps off the wall. Andy stays with it.
Scores 10.
Keeps it in the low zone,
Serving
dives in
6.
front of Tim. Roberts back in, ready to crank another one. So if he comes
Second
with a
serve.
high lob Z, and we'll see if Tim comes up and overhead drives it.
That he did.
Hold it. Stop.
You got to replay.
Scores 10. Serving 6.
With a replay, he comes back in with 2 serves, so he'll be cranking it again. It's a good return.
Okay, lines it. I said there's been no football. There was no football. There's been an appeal. So there was no football.
He was asking for a football.
Side out, and that's an appeal.
That's when you go to
used.
your full bag of tricks. When you've
You
served
have
a
two
serve
left,
that they kill, you go back and appeal that you possibly
Score
football.
is 6. Serving 10.
And the linesman upheld the referee's decision and be side out.
But you run out of appeals if you're not judicious, though.
Second
If you're
serve.
creative, you find ways to appeal different shots.
Yeah, Roberts kept Doyle moving.
He jumps up. A lot of times if you get caught in a situation where you're directly in front of your opponent and you're going to block their offensive shot, it's better to go up. Or if you have time to move off to the side.
Serving 6.
Here you see him going up right there. He's out of the way, so it's not a hinder. Not an avoidable hinder, point hinder.
There was a powerful
One of the
overhead.
most amazing shots.
Side out. We are still at 6 serving
Hit.
10.
Overhead drive, flat rollout kill. Probably at about 130 miles an hour.
Score 6. Serving 10.
Here's a tight pinch in the corner.
7-10.
So difficult on the return of these low drive serves to get anything on it with direction that doesn't result in an obvious setup for the server.
It's a good shot. Point.
8-10.
Boy, they are turning up the heat here. That thing is hit so hard. And he flips it up, but it comes off the back.
Scores 8.
So winner off the front wall.
Second serve.
Skipped it. Side out.
There's a shot for him right here. He goes for it. He pulls it down from the shoulder. He just angles the ball a little bit too low, and it skips into the front wall.
Serving 8.
And it is now 11-8.
Where they get caught there is that they go over with the crossover step. They try to get their shoulders, and they just don't have enough time to get their racket back and coil their shoulders back into the shot.
Couldn't back up with the momentum, and it's 12-8.
When he tried to get back, he tried to duck to make sure he wasn't in the way, and that ball went right over the top of him. There was a good get right there, and he's coming back in, and Andy is going for the shot, and it goes right over his head, kind of back around him. And here's another angle from right there. He goes for the shot, pinches it. Tim gets up, gets it, pops it to the ceiling, goes with an overhead drive right over his head for a winner before the back wall. Some aggressive play right there. Well executed shot by Andy Roberts. The momentum continues. We got a tiebreaker.
And there's a foot fault.
Andy feels it's just a little out of sequence. He would have liked that foot fault about 4 rallies ago when his
Well, he's been the one
when he
who-
needed it.
Well, he'd been appealing all of them, and then he's the guy with foot faults. Second serve.
He comes up again. Aggressive action. There's a shot for him.
Side out.
Side out.
There's a shot. Andy backs up, hits an offensive shot with his backhand going back, but leaves it up, and Tim re-kills front right corner. Nice pinch. Nice angle.
Side out.
Overhead comes right back into the center court. Andy's really ready for it. Tim's a little bit caught behind him on his right hip.
12,
Can't quite see it.
serving 8.
Ball dies before hits the back wall.
Well, 13-8 now. More wet spots on the court.
Boy, it's a great shot. Right down the right wall. Pretty close to Tim's racket, too, but the pace just didn't allow him to get over to it.
Andy Roberts serving, scores 13, serving 8.
Well, tried to pull it off by going between the legs, couldn't get to it, and we are at game point.
Score is 14.
Roberts leading at 14-8, serving for the game to even the match. Does it.
Ace.
And he wins it 15-8. Roberts sending it to the tiebreaker.
Line judges.
Well, they're going to appeal
Be
the
an
last
appeal, but
play.
they'll probably be pretty much thumbs up on that.
It is.
It is
Thumbs
a
up all
point
the way.
game.
And here it is.
See the replay of that again. Andy just cracks that thing on the left wall, lands right behind the short line, kicks into the middle of the court, but by the time it got to Tim, it bounced 3 or 4 times. There it is again. There it shows a crack right there.
We'll have the tiebreaker. 11 points for the championship. Stay with us. It's coming up from Houston. Greg Lucas back along with Steve Strandemo as we are set for the tiebreaker for the U.S. Racquetball Singles Championship for the men. The open division. Roberts, the defending champion. Going to see what he can do against Tim Doyle, that man right there. Tim, as we said before, has clinched a spot on the U.S. team by being making the Final Four. But now he wants the big one, the championship in this tournament.
If we look at the stats from game 2, Roberts had 2 aces and Doyle had none. And the points generated from Doyle's skips were 4 for Roberts and 2 for Doyle. So actually, if you add those up, Andy off ace serves and Doyle's skips ended up with 6 points and Doyle ended up with 2 points. So big change from the first time when Andy had given up quite a few points to Tim on his skip. So this should be a slugfest. They're warmed up and they've been warmed up for an hour here. So they're going to play a final 11 points to see who wins the Men's Open Championship.
First one to 11 wins, 2 timeouts per player. Let's play ball. The score is 0, serving 0.
Andy Roberts will serve. Roberts psyching himself up, gets the first point.
1 serving 0.
And it's a side out.
That was a tremendous serve, but a great return. If you notice how Tim steps over with a crossover, nails it down the line. Great
Tim
shot.
Doyle serving. The score is 0, serving 1.
And he is considering appealing, and he will appeal, and it is still good. Andy got the appeal from the judge nearest him.
Great serve, landed right over the short line.
1 serving 1.
Died before he could get the ball off the back wall.
1-1.
Ball came back up in the middle of the court. Tim tried to get a shot at it, but couldn't see it enough, so resulted in a hinder. Ball moved into here. He went for the shot. Now Andy leaves it up, and now Tim tries to get it, but he can't quite see it. Puts his hand up, signifying to the ref, and Otto Dietrich gave him the hinder.
Short on the serve.
Second serve.
Two serving 1. Doyle.
Scores 2, serving 1. Point.
3-1.
Good low drive serve back there. He tries to flip it to the ceiling. Ball comes in a little bit short. Tim goes for it. Flat kills it straight in front of Andy.
Scores 3, serving 1. Second serve.
Side out.
Another explosive serve does come off the back wall. It just kind of gets mishit too, but it
Scores
stays up
1,
in the front.
serving 3.
Side out for Roberts.
On the side out now. Doyle serving.
3, serving 1.
Andy was there too. The ball was up. He just didn't, couldn't quite get his racket on it. Ball was right into here. Tim goes for it off the back wall. He's going to pinch it, and actually the ball's going to come right back to Andy right there, but he just couldn't get his racket up there.
4-1.
Ball was in the general area.
5-1.
Such a fine line here between having the edge. Goes back and forth. The momentum switches so quickly, depending on the accuracy of the players.
When you get down to this stage in the match. Ooh.
Some really
Every
well-placed
point is
serves.
so
That ball's
important.
at a great angle. It's dying. It goes back into that corner. It kind of freaks out of that corner. Andy's not sure how it's going to come out. Here again is a low drive serve. Just gets over the line. Comes back into that corner. Fools him a little bit. Tim's fired up.
And he is,
He has
Roberts called a
There it is
timeout.
again. Over the line. Lands in that area. Comes out, he can't get a shot at it, point. You'd like to have your,
6-1.
you'd like to have your low drive serve land. You want to keep it from coming off the back wall, behind the short line and in front of the dotted line, in that 5-foot area there. It really can generate some excellent low drive serves.
Seven one. Well, we are perhaps on our way to a third separate champ.
Another low drive serve comes off the back wall. He has a center court shot, kind of an open stance right there. Nails at the front corner, kind of falling backwards.
7, serving 1.
Well executed.
Side out.
Over jumped at that one.
Now,
But he had a good run.
yeah, but now is when
Serving 7.
Roberts has really got to make a move. He's 6 points down in the deciding game here. Now there's one.
He made a similar move in the second game when he was down and came back very aggressively to get a good run. So let's see if he can close the gap here.
He's had some good runs. He even had a good run in the first game, which he lost, but he had a 7-point straight run.
He's going to call that. That was good. And Andy's been to this so much.
Yeah,
he's been down in these championship games and so many of the AARA competitions around the world that it's time to put it together and
Score is 3.
see if he can come back, tie it up, and maybe close it out even.
3-7. .47. Nice effort by Doyle, but to no avail. And wiped the perspiration off the court.
Andy really moved well going to that back wall. Kept his eye on the ball. He shuffled back there. He put a pinch shot into the right wall that died in front of Tim. Tim was going for it. Good movement by Roberts going back. It shows it again going off that back wall. Pinched it using the right wall. Forced Tim up into the front. Even if Tim would have left it up, Andy was ready to come up and close that rally.
Ready to resume play. 4-7.
Okay, let's resume play. Andy Roberts serving. 11-point tiebreaker. Score is 4. Serving 7.
Not only is Andy trying to psych himself out, he's trying to will some of his shots. That was a short set. One of the things that won last year for him was his, really, I guess you'd call it gambling on second serve. He boomed some second serve. Obviously did not do that this time.
Kind of caught Tim off guard right there.
Got the point.
Yep. Ball was pretty much left up right to his backhand, but kind of surprised him and tried to hit it into the back wall to no avail. He's coming up aggressively, coming up and doing his overhead drive. Andy has a great off-balance shot falling back to the right. Puts pressure on Tim. Tim can't return it.
5-7.
Closing that gap pretty quick here.
That was short. You just sort of get the feeling that if he does get it closed, he'll go on to win. So I think it's key that Doyle get the serve back quickly. Which he did.
He has shots too. I mean, if Andy, with that serve, he wanted to generate exactly what Tim gave him. And the ball was on his racket and he just couldn't make the shot.
Now Doyle, if he can pull off 4 straight, can close it out, win it. 7-5. Second serve.
Second serve.
was on there. Great anticipation by Robertson. He had his racket up on the ball and just couldn't quite make it.
8-5.
He had his up there. He was there. And he just didn't quite have enough pace to get that ball to the front wall. He was ready for it. We'll see it again. Doyle's going for it. He's up there. The ball's up. Slides a backhand in. Just cuts that thing and doesn't make the front wall.
That's a good serve.
And it is.
Oh, there will be an appeal here.
Roberts needs an appeal.
Good. There's been an appeal. I called it good.
They're going to serve it over. He got a thumbs down and I didn't see it. So there's no point. Replay it.
Again. The score is 8. Serving 5.
That one was perfect.
That's a great shot. It's scary to return and put Doyle in a situation where he can hit the ball so incredibly hard. There's a replay of that ball down the right wall, lands right over the line as a good serve.
Again, he
Died before the back.
used the strategy to ask if there was a foot fault.
There it
was
is
not.
again. Just over the line, lands in that area between the short line and the dotted line, exactly where you want, dies before the back wall.
All right, it is 8-9-5.
Serving 5.
2 points away.
And play a hinder on that if the play hasn't stopped.
And he thought first a wet ball serve.
Wow.
Play ball.
There it is off the back. A little contact right in there. I think the play.
Too quick. He had no chance to move out of the way from you. Right on it.
I think they're going to let the point
He
stand.
had to finish his follow.
Okay, now he has his hand up. He's appealing that the ball hit a wet spot first. That's a very difficult call. When you at 9-5 in the tiebreaker, when both those guys have been skidding the ball into the corner for an hour and a half. To ask the ref to make that call. It's pretty
They're going to just play the point
tough.
over.
Tough request there.
Play the point over. They say that's short. He'll
Getting
get a
down to
second
a fine
serve.
line here.
You can also see how important it is to win. Good serve. It's 10-5, and we are at tiebreaker and match point.
That is such an incredible serve. Seeing that same area again, dies before the back wall. You couldn't go over there and place it in a better position.
Again, the football
This is going down to
appeal.
match point.
Tim Doyle, 1 point away, and he's trying to psych himself up. He can do it on this serve. And does. Tim Doyle wins the 1989 U.S. Open Championship in the amateur racquetball world, the American Amateur Racquetball Association. His sister finishing, giving him a hug there. She finished runner-up in the women's division. And it is Tim Doyle upsetting the #1 seeded Andy Roberts for the championship by scores of 15-10, 8-15, and 11-5 in the tiebreaker. The action is over for another year at the U.S. National Singles Championships in the Open Division. The men's champ is Tim Doyle over Andy Roberts, and Otto Dietrich is down on the floor getting set for the ceremonies honoring the winner.
At this time, Mr. Luke St. Onge, the Executive Director of the American Amateur Racquetball Association, will present the silver medal to Andy Roberts from Memphis, Tennessee. And now Mr. St. Onge will present the gold medal to Tim Doyle from Buffalo, New York, the new National Men's Open champion, United States Singles champion. And now Mr. St. Ange will be presenting both players with the United States team sweatshirt, which is emblematic of the fact that they're now U.S. team members for the next year.
Congratulations. This is a great effort. Seeing as both you and Andy have tremendous velocity and pace on your shots, and you split those games, what was your game plan going into the tiebreaker?
I just wanted to get him out of the box. In the second game, he put a lot of pressure on me with his serve. I was having trouble getting it back. I knew if I could get him out of the box, I could hop right on my serve because I had my adrenaline flowing and hopefully run a lot of points on that, which I did.
It was great strength, and you and Cindy did a great job and just about took home 2 golds right there.
Almost.
Good weekend.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
well, thanks.
Let's take it back to Greg.
Thanks a lot, Steve Strandemo. And there's sister who almost did it. Cindy Doyle finished runner-up, losing to Michelle Gilman in the championship. Let's quickly recap what has happened today in this 1989 championship from the Houston YMCA, which of course hosts this, has now for the 7th straight year, also involved in many other fine programs for the community, underprivileged activities that they host here, as well as the national tournament. This was the women's situation. Michelle Gilman jumped out to a 15-5 lead, but then Cindy Doyle came back and took the second game 15-3, but it was Gilman in the tiebreaker 11-3 for that championship. Meanwhile, on the men's side, Andy Roberts was defeated 15-10 in the first game. Roberts came back to take the second 15-8, but once again in the tiebreaker, the third set, Doyle a winner 11-5. We want to, of course, thank all the folks that were very much involved in helping us bring you the 1989 championships, and hope to see you again next year.